Well, today we are saying happy birthday to a guy whose influence on our understanding of the universe is pretty much unparalleled.
We are talking about Isaac Newton. He was born on this day in 1643 in England, and he became what was called at the time a natural philosopher. Today, we'd call him a scientist or physicist or a mathematician.
He was deeply interested in studying the natural world. To do that, he accomplished some wild feats like inventing calculus in his mid-20s. He can have that one back, by the way. Yeah, then he figured out that color is a property of light, not the other way around. And he then used that knowledge to come up with a better telescope. His work touches many facets of modern life, but probably best known for the famous Apple incident.
In 1666, Isaac Newton was 23. He was sent home from Trinity College in Cambridge because of a pandemic. While walking in a garden, he saw an apple fall. It didn't hit him on the head, but it did make him start asking questions that led to his discovery of gravity. Incredibly, the tree that dropped the apple still stands today, and it's the subject of a kid's book by Anna Crowley Redding. In 2021, Rob Caldwell talked with the author about the tree's remarkable legacy.
So the tree became known as the gravity tree, and people loved to travel to Woolsthorpe Manor, where he grew up, to visit this tree.
The tree endured, kept living through the decades, through almost a couple of centuries. In 1820, something pivotal happened to the tree. What was it?
So in 1820, around that time, there was a terrible storm, a terrible windstorm, and it actually knocked the tree over. The tree cracked in half. It was like in this heap on the ground and appeared to be dead. But what remained on the ground actually still had life in it and rerooted itself and grew once again.
And the story doesn't end there, because what that tree created, people then used to create more apple trees, right?
Yes, so gardeners went in and they cut saplings. So they cut like really small branches from the tree to make saplings and sent them to every continent except Antarctica. And there are even some here in New England.
And they also took seeds from the tree and planted those, and more apple trees came forth.
Yes, they did. So they're all over the world, which is really kind of special. It's a very special lineage from this tree to these special apple trees around the world, but they're really sent around the world to inspire people the way that Isaac Newton was inspired.
This is a pretty mind-boggling story. I'd never heard of it. You'd never heard of it until shortly before you began writing this book, right?
Right, that is right. I was totally blown away. And I think what I love about it and what I love about the descendant trees is that when you think about Isaac Newton, you think about this incredible man who lived so long ago. Like, you're so far away from that, so far removed. But to think that you can stand under this tree or visit another gravity tree or even eat an apple from the tree, it just connects us to this part of history and these breakthroughs in a way that's just difficult, if not impossible, to do very often.
You end the book on an inspirational note. You wanted to get a message across to your young readers. What is that message?
I think that for me, the truth of the book is that this tiny apple seed grew into a tree that could change the world. And for our young readers who are reading this, I want them to know that they too may feel small, just like that tiny apple seed, but they also have the potential to change the world.
January 4th is also National Trivia Day, so here's a piece of trivia about Isaac Newton. There's a story that he had a dog named Diamond, which knocked over a candle, burning many of his manuscripts.
You see, that's probably not true, though. It's more likely he left a window open and a gust of wind knocked over that candle. It's also been said that Newton never owned any pets. Still, the legend of poor little Diamond lives on. Always blaming the dog.
I know, right?
It never ends. So sad. All right.